Deuteronomy chapter 21. Untraced murderer. If the corpse of a slain person is found in a field in the land which the Lord your God is giving you as possession, and it is not known who committed the murder, elders and judges shall go out to measure the distance between the victim and the surrounding cities to determine which city is nearest to the corpse. Then the elders of that city shall take a heifer that has never been put to work or borne a yoke, and they shall bring the heifer down to an ever-flowing brook, to a place which has never been ploughed or sown, and there by the brook they shall break its neck. The priest, the descendants of Levi, shall be present, for they were chosen by the Lord to minister to him and bless in the name of the Lord. And it is they who decide on all lawsuits on criminal cases. Then all the elders of the city nearest to the corpse shall wash their hands in the brook over the heifer whose neck was broken, and they shall pronounce these words: Our hands did not shed this blood, and our eyes did not see it. Forgive, O Lord, your people Israel, whom you ransomed, and do not charge them with this shedding of innocent blood. So shall be absolved from this blood. You shall purge all shedding of innocent blood from your midst, and shall do what is right in the eyes of the Lord. Marriage with a captive. When you go to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them over to you, and you bring back captives with you, if you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you fall in love with her, and desire to have her as your wife, you shall bring her into your house. First, she shall shave her head and clip her nails. She shall take off her captive's dress and stay in your house, and she shall mourn for her father and mother for a month, after which you may have relations with her. So you shall be her husband and she your wife. If in the course of time she does not please you any more, you shall let her go free wherever she would like. You shall not sell her for money, nor infringe on her freedom, since you have humiliated her through cohabitation. Birthright. When a man has two wives and prefers one to the other, supposing that both of them bear him children, and the firstborn is the son of the wife he loves less, then on the day he divides the inheritance among his children, he cannot transfer the right of the firstborn to the son of the woman he prefers at the expense of the true firstborn, who is the son of the woman he loves less. On the contrary, he should recognize the child of the woman he loves less as the firstborn and give him a double share of all his property. He is the first fruit of his manhood, and to him belongs the right of the firstborn. The rebellious son. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son who does not obey when his father or mother commands, and does not listen to them when they punish him, his parents shall seize him and bring him before the elders of the city to the gate of judgment, and shall say to them, This son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He does not obey us. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the citizens of this town shall stone him to death. You shall indeed purge the evil from your midst, and all Israel upon hearing of it shall be afraid. Various regulations. If a man guilty of any capital offense has been put to death by hanging him on a tree, his body must not remain hanging there through the night. But you shall make sure to bury him on the same day, because the hanged man is accursed by God. So you shall not defile the land which the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. Deuteronomy chapter 22. If you find that an ox or sheep belonging to your brother has gone astray, do not pretend that you do not see it, but bring it back to its owner. If the owner does not live near you, or you do not know to whom the animal belongs, you shall keep it in your house until he comes looking for it. Then you shall return it to him. Do the same with his ass, his clothes, or with any lost property of your brother that you happen to find. You shall not pretend not to notice them. If you see your brother's donkey or ox fall down on the road, You shall not pretend not to notice it, but help your brother to lift the animal up. A woman must not wear a man's clothing, nor a man the clothing of a woman, because whoever does such a thing is detestable to the Lord your God. If you find along your way a bird's nest in a tree or on the ground, and the mother bird is brooding upon her young ones and upon the eggs, you shall not pick up the mother bird together with the young, but you shall let the mother go free and take only the young. Then you shall prosper and live long. When you build a new house, you shall construct a parapet around the roof, lest someone should fall from it, and your house become stained with blood guilt. You shall not sow any other seed in your vineyard, because when you do this, you can neither eat from the produce of the grapes nor from the produce of the other plants. You shall not plow with an ox or an ass together. You shall not wear a garment of wool and linen woven of together. You shall make for yourself tassels on the four corners of your clothing with which you cover yourself. Laws regarding sexual purity. It may happen that a man takes a wife and has intercourse with her and afterwards begins to dislike her. So he charges her with bad behavior and publicly spoils her name by saying, I married this woman, but when I went to bed with her, I found that she was not a virgin. In this case, the father and mother of the young woman shall take the sheet of the wedding night, which proves that she was a virgin, and will present this to the elders of the city at the gate of judgment. The father of the young woman shall then say to the elders, I gave my daughter as wife to this man, but now that he no longer likes her, he is falsely accusing her of not being a virgin, and yet see, here is the proof of my daughter's virginity. They shall spread out the sheet before the elders of the city. If the man is guilty, the elders shall arrest him and have him punished. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the father of the young woman, because the man publicly defamed the Virgin of Israel. The husband shall have her as his wife, and shall not repudiate her as long as he lives. But if what the man says is true, and the proof of virginity is not found, then they shall bring her to the door of her father's house, and the fellow citizens shall stone her to death for having committed an outrage in Israel, becoming a prostitute while still in her father's house. So shall you indeed purge the evil from your midst. If a man is caught lying with a married woman, the two shall die, the adulterer and the adulteress. So shall you banish this evil from Israel. If a young woman has been promised in marriage to a man, and another man meets her in the city and lies with her, they shall bring the two to the city gate and stone them to death. The young woman, because she did not cry for help when she was in the city, and the man, because he violated the wife of his neighbor. So shall you purge the evil from your midst. But if in the fields a man meets a young woman promised in marriage and violates her by force, then only the man who has had intercourse with her shall die. The young woman shall not suffer punishment. She does not deserve death, for this case is similar to that of a man who falls upon and murders his neighbor. For the man found the young woman alone in the fields, and she might have cried out for help, but no one came to save her. If a man meets a young virgin who has not been promised in marriage to another man, and he violates her by force, and they are caught by surprise, to the man who lay with her shall give her to the father of the young woman 50 silver shekels, and take her as his wife, because he has violated her. He shall not send her away as long as he lives. Psalm chapter 81. A festive song. Sing joyfully to God our strength, acclaim aloud the God of Jacob. Start the music, strike the timbrel, play melodies on the harp and lyre. Sound the trumpet at the new moon, and our feast day at the full moon. This is a decree for Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob. a statute he wrote for Joseph when he went out against Egypt. There I heard an unknown voice saying, I relieved your shoulder of the burden. I freed your hands from the basket. In your distress you call, and I rescue you. Unseen I answered you in thunder. I tested you at the waters of Meribah. Hear my people as I admonish you. If only you would listen to me, O Israel. There will be no strange God among you. You shall not worship any alien God. For I, the Lord, am your God, who led you forth from the land of Egypt. Open wide your mouth, and I will fill it. But my people did not listen. Israel did not obey. So I gave them over to their stubbornness, and they followed their own counsels. If only my people would listen, if only Israel would walk in my ways, I would quickly subdue their adversaries and turn my hand against their enemies. Those who hate the Lord would cringe before him, and their punishment would last forever. I would feed you with the finest wheat and satisfy you with honey from the rock. Luke chapter 1, verse 39 to 56. Mary visits Elizabeth. At that time Mary went as quickly as she could to a town in the hills of Judah. She entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leapt in her womb. Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit, and crying out aloud, she said, You are most blessed among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. How is it that the mother of my Lord comes to me? The moment your greeting sounded in my ears, the baby within me suddenly leapt for joy. Blessed are you who believed that the Lord's word would come true. And Mary said, My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit exalts in God my Savior. He has looked upon his servant in her lowliness, and from now on all generations will call me blessed. The Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. From age to age his mercy extends to those who live in his presence. He has acted with power and done wonders, and scattered the proud with all their plans. He has put down the mighty from their thrones and lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty. He has come to help of Israel his servant, for he has remembered his mercy, even as he promised our fathers, Abraham and his descendants forever. Mary remained with Elizabeth about 3 months and then returned home.